Why did you make this section of the show, Jamie?
This section of Silence is the Northwest Territories, the Arctic Circle of Upper Canada. It's roughly 2,500 miles northwest of where we're standing on Great Slave Lake. If anyone has seen either show Alone or Ice Road Truckers, you've seen Great Slave Lake. Where the ice road trucks drive is where I fish. It is one of the most inhospitable, dangerous, beautiful places on planet Earth. This is where I spend usually the third week of August every year, which up there is the start of fall, actually. I've actually seen snow up there in August. It's the land up there. It's generally, it used to be gold mines. It was gold mine area, that entire section, northern Canada, up into the Yukon, which is next to the Northwest Territories. After the gold ran out, somebody kept digging down and they found diamonds. And diamonds rule the land up there. Yellowknife, which is the Northwest Territories capital, is it basically exists as a major city of, I believe, greater than 12,000 people now. There's a McDonald's and a Walmart and a KFC and bars and lounges and everything else up there. But diamonds run everything. Just as a small factoid of what happens up there. De Beers, they have, I believe in our area up there, they have 13 mines. They run 365 days a year. They do not stop digging, and each mine, on an average, makes $3.1 million a day, 365 days a year. And those are only the mines that are in our area. Some of them are large enough that they can be seen by space. You can see these boring mines where they will just strip the land down and keep on going down in a circular pattern of like 10 square miles. So anyway, that's on the opposite side of the lake. We are on the southeast side of Great Slave Lake. The lake is roughly 300 miles long by 150 miles wide. It's 2,014 feet deep. It's the deepest lake in North America and the 9th largest freshwater lake on planet Earth. I'm lucky enough to be the advertising and web and social media director for what is the most premier freshwater trophy fishing camp in North America, where I get to do things like, and I only show one fishing photo of me in this entire show. I catch thousands of fish, and this is not like anything special. This is just another fish from another day. And I made it really, really small because I don't want this show to be centered around me fishing, but that's me with, I think that's about a 45-inch northern pike. I've caught literally thousands of those, all of us do up there. On a good year for our fishing camp up here, of which we are the only one on the southeast side of Great Slave Lake, we'll have about 100 people that will fish here in about a 4-month season. More people will go up to the peak of Everest than go where we go up here. It's beautiful, as you can see. It is as equally dangerous and inhospitable. Where we sleep up there are in cabins like this. They're extremely Spartan. We have wooden bunks in there, and that's about it. We have wonderful washrooms that you can find every once in a while in the middle of the forest. They have a great view, as you can tell there. This whole aspect of my life, wanting to chase northern pike, and that started with this. And this was a watercolor painting that I did in 7th grade. And that is of a northern pike. And at that time, I had never even caught a northern pike. But just as with the other side of this room, I have a picture of a muskie that I drew. I have a painting of a northern pike that I did because that was one of my dreams, was to catch one, just one. And now it's actually part of my side job to catch thousands of them and go here to a place like this and spend a week in a small boat on a lake that is the size of some seas. And I get to see all of this and experience all of this and live part-time in a place that is this remote and this beautiful. And just as with the other photo that I showed you earlier in Northwest Ontario, the Northwest Territories also have issues with fires. And like this photo here is smoke. It's solid smoke from horizon to horizon across 300 miles of water, because there are so many fires up there. You know, not that I want to get off on a rant, but anyone who thinks global warming is not an issue, go 2,500 miles up and live amongst fires. It's quite the issue. One of the other issues would be like this section here. There are issues in the Northwest Territories, in remote parts of Canada, just as there are right outside of this door in Chicago. That photo right there, those are Listerine bottles, and that is nothing different than any other day up there. That's on the backside of a Walmart, and there's Listerine bottles and medicine bottles that are just littering everywhere because there are huge social and economic problems and drug problems and alcohol problems. This gentleman right here, that is outside of the Yellowknife Inn, which is about 20 stories tall, a beautiful hotel. That's where I stay. And that guy is passed out, and that's nothing different. We see this every day up there. He's passed out on the sidewalk. That is 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. These homes here, this is on the Rauscher River, which feeds into Great Slave Lake. And these homes were somebody's homes. These were tribal homes. This is where families lived for eons. And I believe it was in the 1980s, the government of Canada made it law that all children had to go to a state-run school. So they forced all of these people who had a life and an absolute culture on the opposite side of the lake. They forced them to move 150 miles away to the city of Yellowknife. And they lost everything. And these homes are still there, abandoned. And it's quite sad. In the middle of one of the most beautiful places on planet Earth. There's that. There's problems everywhere, whether you're in Chicago, New York, San Francisco, LA, or 2,500 miles up where there's ice and snow. Sometimes there is no difference. Where there's people, we make problems. But going back to the other side of it would be what we see up there almost nightly, and that is the Aurora Borealis. And this one is, of course, over our section of Great Slave Lake. I get to see this almost every night, and it's massive, and it'll make you feel small. It'll put everything into context really, really quickly. And the reason why I made this shot so big is to drive the point home that this does exist. And 99% of people on planet Earth will never see it, but it's there, and it's there almost every night. And it's awe-inspiring, and it's magic. And it's something that I think everybody should see. I think everybody should travel to a place like this, a place that is inhospitable, uncomfortable, beautiful, and see this, to see that these things do exist, and see that maybe everything that we do every single day, getting ourselves all bound up with worry and tasks and mental strife, it's not that important. When you sit under that, it lets you know how small you are, and it's